Hey guys, welcome back to Honey Money SG, and this time is the next episode of Talking to Myself. So today's topic, let's talk about CPF and the major changes that are scheduled to happen in year 2022 and what you should take note of. You know, there are a lot of changes with the CPF in the recent news, right? But I don't think I will cover all of them. I will just cover those that really affect me, and most likely they will affect you as well. And let's take a look at the more important thing, which is tax relief. So under tax relief, there are three things that you should know. Firstly is the retirement sum top-up scheme. The limit will be increased from $7,000 currently to next year it will be $8,000 for the retirement sum top-up scheme. And what this means is that if you have been topping up $7,000 annually into your special account, next year you could top up to $8,000 to gain that tax relief deducted from your tax accessible income. And this will also apply to your family member contribution as well. So if you are doing like an RSTU from yourself to your family member, the total of two caps, which is 2 times 8,000, will grant you at least $16,000 in your tax accessible income deduction. So sounds like a really good thing, right? But until you hear the next piece of news, which is the $8,000 tax relief cap is actually shared between the RSTU and the voluntary contribution to your Medisave account. So for those who don't understand CPF and what is going on, VCMA or the voluntary contribution to your Medisave account is a separate tax relief scheme apart from the RSTU, which means if you actually top up money by voluntary contribution to your Medisave account, you get to enjoy tax relief currently as well. Of course, that is limited to your CPF annual limit, which is currently $37,740 per calendar year. So CPF now says that next year onwards in 2022, if you want to top up your Medisave account, you can actually top up till the basic healthcare sum, which is currently $63,000. Next year, I don't know what is the BHS cap yet, but you could top up all the way to over $60,000 one shot, because currently we are limited by the $37,740 CPF annual limit cap, right? But because next year this cap will be removed for the BHS, especially for the Medisave top up, so you could top up all the way to your BHS, and you think that's a win? No, that's definitely a lose. Why? Because now the $8,000 worth of tax relief is shared between your RSTU and the VCMA. And do you know what that means? It means your tax relief is capped at $8,000 per calendar year. Maybe some of you are still confused at this point. Like, what is the difference? The difference here is currently I can top up like $10,000 to my voluntary contribution Medisave account, and then I can top up $7,000 to my retirement sum top up scheme to my special account. So that nets me a total of $17,000 worth of tax relief of my tax accessible income. But come next year, I can only RSTU $8,000, or I could VCMA $8,000, and I cannot do the other. Or I could just split it evenly, $4,000 RSTU, $4,000 VCMA, but that's about it. I cannot go above $8,000 of tax relief. Like for example, this year in early January, I actually did like voluntary contribution of around $3,000 because the basic healthcare sum cap increased from $60,000 to $63,000, right? So in January 1st, I did a $3,000 of VCMA. So I captured like $3,000 worth of tax relief there. Then in like 31st January, I did a video on why top up CPF special account. And then I did a $7,000 worth of RSTU. So my total tax relief for year 2021 would be $3,000 from VCMA and $7,000 from RSTU, totaling up to $10,000 of tax relief. And if I apply the same thing to year 2022, it won't work anymore, because let's say if I did like $3,000 in 1st of January 2022 to top up my VCMA Medisave account to the BHS cap, then I'm only left with $5,000 for RSTU, because there is a cap in the tax relief, right? Of a combined cap of $8,000. So that's where $3,000 of VCMA plus $5,000 of RSTU special account, totaling up to $8,000. That's it. So I clarify again, in year 2021, I could have gotten $10,000 of tax relief, but in year 2022, I couldn't get up to $8,000. So do you think this is really a win now? And of course, for all the tax relief in 2021 current year, it is assuming that I will not hit the CPF annual limit, which is $37,740. But I guess the other good news now is that the giver now actually is the one eligible for the tax relief if he did the voluntary contribution to the MediSave account. So if you don't know, right, currently if the giver actually does a VCMA to his loved ones, like his family members, only the family member will get the tax relief. And if the family member, like your grandparents or your parents, are not working anymore, then it makes no sense for them to get the tax relief, right? Because you as the giver, you are the one giving the money to them, but they get the tax relief doesn't work because they may not be working, and what's there to deduct from their taxes. So I think this is a good way forward, that the giver gets the tax relief for contributing voluntarily to the recipient's MediSave account. So you can top up for your spouse, your parents, your grandparents. I'm not sure for children, I have to check. And then you as the giver will get the tax relief. I think that makes more sense. So how will all these changes affect you and what you should do now in the year of 2021 before the year ends? I think if you are someone who wants to maximize tax relief and you have not hit the full retirement sum in your special account or your BHS, the basic healthcare sum in your MediSave account, then you may want to just calculate how much more can you put in your MediSave account, because come next year you won't be able to put in that much anymore. I mean, in the purpose of tax relief, let's not be confused with the full retirement sum cap. And that's also assuming that your normal employee wages will not exceed the CPF annual limit, which is 102k. So you will want to voluntarily contribute as much as possible to your voluntary contribution MediSave VCMA so that you capture the most tax relief before the new rules kick in January 2022. The other action that you should consider is to actually delay your voluntary contribution to your family members to next year, because this year if you give the voluntary contribution to MA, the recipient is still getting the tax relief. So come next year, the giver gets the tax relief. So it's really better for you to give them the next year if you want the tax relief. Now for myself personally, there's no change because like I said in my special account and my MediSave account video, my MediSave account is really at basic healthcare sum 63,000 this year, and my special account is targeted to hit full retirement sum by January next year. So these changes in CPF won't really affect me. I will still be doing my January 1st voluntary contribution to MediSave up till the new BHS limit in year 2022, and then whatever that is remaining between my special account and the FRS, I will top up using RSTU, and I'm pretty sure I will stay within the $8,000 of tax relief cap. So we'll see again in January 22 when I've maxed out my BHS and my SRS. Hopefully I can give another update in my CPF account balances as well. So I know all these CPF rules are really confusing and really hard to understand, but I hope that my videos, especially on CPF and retirement planning, has really helped you to at least understand how to calculate all these things in a very simple format. Alright, so I hope you have gained some value from this sharing of my CPF as well as the changes that will affect you, whether in tax relief terms or in retirement planning when you are taking out your CPF. So do give a like at the bottom of the video and consider subscribing to my channel for more CPF knowledge. My name is Christopher. This is Honey Money SG, steering young adults to financial independence.